Yeah, so I guess it's time for the moves news, and I do have some news actually. I landed my double axel again after 13 months break. Yeah, it was a big goal for me, and it's a big milestone, and I'm so proud of myself actually. And I just didn't come on here to brag or boast about my achievements. I came on here to go through with you sort of the process that I went through, the struggles that I went through to be able to do that jump again, because I think you can learn something from it. And I did a double axel, I remember, in January of 2024. Here we are now in February of 2025. And I did a few double axels. I'd struggled with it because through COVID I had long months off, and then got to jump back a few times and then more time off. So it's been kind of an interruption. And I did that double axel right before the competition in Bormio, the World Masters Games. And then when I went to Bormio, I got there after a 4 or 5 hour road trip driving, and I didn't warm up sufficiently, and I was kind of motivated by all the people around. And on a practice session, I pushed myself a little bit too hard and injured my landing ankle. I just noticed it the next day. It wasn't like it was an event where I sprained my ankle, but I had sprain symptoms from kind of like overuse, or probably maybe some landings that weren't quite perfect, or whatever. And then I've had knee problems and ankle problems along the way. So I've kind of had to rehabilitate myself to get that jump back. Part of the rehabilitation process was recognizing the problem. The problem is that I, through the years, didn't really put enough attention into maintaining my body, addressing tight muscles, addressing myofascia that were really tight. And so part of the process of recovering was using, like for example, a grass stone technique tool to condition the myofascia. I also have become closer to my foam roller. I use that, and I've had some advice that my IT band is quite tight, so I've been focusing on quads, hamstrings, IT band, and just basically all the muscles in my body. And I've come to understand the correlation between time spent with the foam roller and how I feel. That always helps motivate you, right? When you understand that the time and the energy is worth it, and the pain, of using the foam roller. This one's very good for, I lie down on this ball and roll around. It's good for glutes. Smaller one's very good. I put it on the ground and massage the bottom of my feet with that one. Yeah, and I've also been using a little ultrasound gadget, and I've been getting weekly massages with Muruga-san in Ginza, and he's helped a lot through the weeks and months to get my muscles in better condition. Part of also the recovery process has been strengthening. So I was going to CrossFit for several weeks and months to do some exercises to strengthen my muscles so that I could use my knees and ankles better. I've been doing a lot of just basic jumping exercises to work on coordinating the use of the 3 leg joints, the ankle, knee, and hip. Recently I moved into this apartment, as I mentioned. It's on the 12th floor, and I've been using the stairs most of the time to go up and down, and that's been a very good exercise for impact going down the stairs, and also for power going up the stairs. It's very good for jumping to use the stairs whenever you can, instead of the escalator or the elevator. And like everything, we have to ease into it. When we make changes, we don't want to be too ambitious, like I've said before. And I've had to learn this lesson over and over and over again in my life, and I'll continue to be reminded. I mean, we're all human. I know that gradual, incremental changes and improvements are what's going to give the best long-term progress. But I have to learn this lesson. There was one day where I went down the stairs 2 steps at a time, all the way down, and the next day I was kind of suffering. I don't remember what it was, knee or ankle, and I realized that was kind of like overdoing it. So now I warm up that even. I take walk 1 step at a time, and then for a few floors, and then run, and then just the bottom step, 2 steps, and then gradually warm up to it. And this is in all things, and on the ice too, I warm up very, very gradually. And so I try to be patient so that I don't just get on the ice, tear around, and start doing difficult things. I'm very methodical about warming up all the skills and warming up my body. And when I did the double axel, I was pretty fully warmed up. It was at Midtown Rink, outdoor rink in Roppongi here in Tokyo. And what I came to realize actually was, because there's been many occasions where I was thinking, oh God, I want to do the jump today. Today's the day. There's been many today's the days that come and go along the way. And I came to realize and was reminded myself that it's good to warm up slowly and gradually, but also you don't want to be too slow and gradual when you're trying to do that difficult maneuver. We perform better when we're kind of on the verge of sweating, being that warmed up, but we don't want to tire ourselves out excessively with our warm up either. So I try to keep moving and warm up a little more quickly. The day before yesterday when I did the double axel, it was still after, I don't know, maybe 35 or 40 minutes of skating when I did that double axel. So I kept moving, went through all my jumps and spins and skating skills, and I felt just right. And I knew I psyched myself up for this because, it's fear really that keeps us from doing that really difficult jump that we haven't done before, or getting back that difficult jump that we haven't done in a long time. We kind of lose the muscle memory, we lose the feeling of it. We have to think through it again. And we have to take a leap of faith, because adding a rotation to a jump is quite a leap of faith, and it's kind of scary, right? And so I've been working on trying to get my technique as good as it can possibly be. I've been kind of like sneaking up on this double axel, because when I finally, my joints were good and I didn't, and pain in my ankles or knees was no longer an excuse, well then I had to gradually, start jumping higher again. My double axel has always been a big jump. It's my biggest jump. It covers about, 8 blade lengths on the ice, 7 or 8 blade lengths on the ice. And that's the way I do it, and that's the way I've always done it. And I practiced it that way because, like in I'm Your Man, program, the double axel was the only jump I did, and I wanted to make it really good, so I used to practice it a lot. It became my biggest jump, and so that makes it even scarier because I'm not really so able to do a small double axel. I have to do a big one. So jumping high, things can go wrong more when you jump higher, and then of course if you don't land properly, things can go badly as well from a height. And so I wanted to really, it was going to be important for me to land without having wonky bad landings, because if you go and you do the double axel before you're really ready, before the single is really ready, then maybe you're going to under rotate, land on the wrong edge, get in some awkward position, have bad landings, and hurt yourself. And I didn't want to do that. And I landed the first double axel I tried. Yeah, it took me 13 months, but I landed the first one I tried, and then I did another one right after. I did 2 in a row, because once you land that first one, it just, you get the feeling back. Oh yeah, that's what it feels like, and then it's easy to repeat it. And also after you land the first one, you get your confidence back and everything. So, and I had people at the rink who cheered for me, and they said, and Ryoko was there, and she filmed. You can procrastinate. One day can go into the next, 1 hour can go into the next, and you can procrastinate. Finding this balance between, not procrastinating too much, and on the other hand, seizing the day when the moment is right, going for it. That's an art, and sometimes it takes a special occasion to actually say, okay, now I'm going to do it. And Ryoko was there, okay, I'm going to film your double axel. And I thought, oh, wow, okay, yeah, now it's special. Okay, now I'm really going to go for it. And I did, and I landed it. And she was even quite shocked. She didn't even have the camera totally ready, so she caught me mid-air. And she just caught me mid-air turning, and then the landing, she didn't even catch the takeoff, because she was kind of surprised that I did it. But, and Mao and Yura were at the ice rink too, so that was kind of special. I was happy to be able to impress them, and they cheered for me. Rah rah, hooray Gary. And but I could have made excuses, even it was kind of a windy day actually. And so I could have said to myself, oh well, it's kind of windy today, so maybe I'll just, I don't want to hurt myself, too much wind. No, things were good enough so that I knew I had to go for it, and I did. And in the process along the way, I've been refining my technique. I've been trying to make my single axle better and better, and my single axle takes off a clean edge, whereas my double axle is always taken off a skid. Sorry, I don't recommend a skid. I think it's better to take off a clean edge, but I just haven't been able to correct that habit through the years. So, and my double axle is huge, so I tried to get my single to be like ideal, or ideal enough, and I did some, and consistent. So I don't want to just do one excellent single and say, oh, now I'm ready for the double. I want to do several in a row, one day after the next, to build my confidence so that I'm ready. So I wanted to be able to set it up to the point where there was no hesitation or pause, which causes an over-rotation. I wanted to be able to step right on a well-balanced, deep enough edge. I wanted to be in a wide enough position. So I got the single axle to the point where it was really easy, and then I went ahead and did the double axle. Hooray for me. Yeah, so that's the way to do it, is to make sure that your body is in good shape. It takes a certain energy. So even if you know the mechanics of doing a particular maneuver, it takes more energy to do a double axel than a single. You know, you gotta squeeze in a little tighter for longer, and then you gotta check out on the landing. So making sure that you have the strength, the power, and the energy to do the jump is quite important. And so yeah, making sure your technique is really solid as well. Because my technique, I've been working on my technique so much in preparation for trying to get my jumps back, and I've been working on my technique actually on all of my jumps, because I'd like to be able to do some triples again as well eventually. And so because I've been working on the technique of my axle, even as far as the way I focus when I go from the back outside edge into the jump, all of these details that are important for making the best jump, I've tried to recognize and train so that I would have the best chance of success. And so, hooray for me! And I hope that you can be inspired by my relating to you the process that I went through. And we all have our own circumstances and challenges and defects that we have to recognize and deal with. But it's kind of the strategy and the tactics that you use to continue to make progress from one day to the next. Having the patience to build a solid foundation, and then seizing the day. Carpe diem when it's time to do your trick. And yeah, part of it too is thinking to yourself, oh, it's gonna feel really good if I do that jump. I've thought to myself, oh, it's gonna feel so great to do that jump. I really want to do it. It's gonna feel so wonderful to have that back in my repertoire. So that's kind of an optimistic way of thinking about it. I don't want to get down on myself from one day that, oh, I didn't do it. Another day went by and I didn't even try the double axel. Yeah, you just got to be satisfied with any progress you make along the way, and frustration arises from ignorance. So I just got to realize what reality is, what my weaknesses are, how to fix them, how long it takes to fix some of them, and just be persistent. So good luck to you. Signing off now in the Moves News. See you in the future.